Have you ever used artificial intelligence and wondered, wait, how did it know that? Today, we'll make AI much easier to understand, and you'll learn how to talk about it naturally in everyday English. Alex, let me start with a question. Have you ever asked an AI tool to do something, and the answer was so good that you thought, okay, that's a little scary?
Absolutely. I once asked one to help me write a message, and it gave me 3 versions in seconds. I was impressed and a little suspicious.
That's a common reaction. But here's the interesting part. AI isn't magic. It learns from huge amounts of information and uses patterns to produce an answer.
When you say patterns, what exactly do you mean? That's one of those words I hear all the time, but I'm not always sure what it means with AI.
Good question. A pattern is a repeated connection or way that things appear together. For example, if an AI system sees millions of examples of sentences, it can learn that certain words often appear together.
So if I write, I'm going to the system can guess what might come next because it's seen similar sentences before?
Exactly. It isn't thinking like a human in the same way we do. It's using what it has learned to make a prediction.
Prediction, that's another useful word, right?
Yes, a prediction is an educated guess about what will happen or what comes next. And AI makes predictions constantly. When a chatbot answers your question, it's predicting a useful response based on the information and instructions it receives.
So in simple terms, I ask a question and the AI looks at the patterns it has learned and predicts a response?
That's a great way to put it. But there's one more important idea: data.
Data just means information, right?
Exactly. Data is information that a computer can collect, store, and analyze. It could be text, pictures, numbers, audio, or many other kinds of information.
Okay, so AI needs data to learn. But does that mean more data always makes an AI system better?
Not necessarily. The quality matters too. Imagine you're learning English. If you study from clear, useful examples, you'll probably improve. But if your examples contain lots of mistakes, you might learn those mistakes as well.
Ah, so AI can have the same problem.
Right, that's why people talk about bias. In AI, bias means a repeated preference or unfair pattern that can affect the results.
Can you give us an everyday example?
Sure, imagine a company uses AI to help choose people for job interviews. If the information used to train the system contains unfair patterns from the past, the AI might repeat those patterns.
So even if the computer is following its instructions, the result can still be unfair?
Exactly. That's one reason humans need to check important AI decisions.
That makes sense. I think that's an important point for English learners too. We often hear, the computer said it, so it must be correct.
Yes, and that's a dangerous assumption. AI can be very useful, but it can also make mistakes.
I've heard people call those mistakes hallucinations. That sounds dramatic.
It does. In AI, a hallucination is when a system gives information that sounds believable but isn't actually correct or supported by the facts.
So it can confidently tell me something completely wrong.
Unfortunately, yes. Imagine asking for the name of a famous book and the AI gives you a very convincing answer, but the book doesn't even exist.
That's awkward.
Very awkward. And that's why we should verify important information instead of trusting every answer automatically.
So if I'm using AI for something simple, like brainstorming ideas for dinner, a mistake isn't a huge problem. But if I'm using it for something important, I should check the information.
Exactly. That's a smart habit.
Let me ask about another word. People often say AI can generate things. What does generate mean?
To generate something means to create or produce it. AI can generate text, images, music, computer code, and other kinds of content.
So when I ask an AI chatbot to write an email, it's generating the email.
Correct. And when you ask an image tool to create a picture from your description, it's generating an image.
That sounds incredibly powerful, but I imagine there's a skill involved in asking the right question.
There definitely is. That's where the word prompt becomes useful.
I know that word from AI conversations. A prompt is the instruction we give the AI, right?
Exactly. A prompt is the text or instruction you give an AI system to tell it what you want.
So write something about travel is a prompt, but it's not a very detailed one.
Right, you could make it much more useful by saying, write a short travel story for an intermediate English learner. Use simple vocabulary and make it funny.
Oh, I see. The more clearly I explain the task, the easier it is for the system to understand what I want.
Usually, yes. Think of it like giving directions to another person. If you say, go somewhere interesting, they have to guess what you mean. If you give them a clear destination and a few details, they'll have a better idea of what to do.
So a good prompt gives the AI context.
Exactly. Context means the background information that helps you understand a situation.
And that's useful beyond AI too. If I tell a friend I need help with my presentation, they may ask, what kind of presentation? Who is it for? How long is it? They need context.
Perfect example.
I think I'm starting to see a bigger picture. AI isn't just one thing. It's a group of technologies that can learn from information, recognize patterns, make predictions, and generate content.
Yes, and different AI systems are designed for different jobs.
Like recognizing a face in a photo?
Exactly. Or translating languages, recommending a video, detecting unusual activity, answering questions, or helping a doctor examine medical images.
That's fascinating. But if AI is becoming part of everyday life, should people be worried about privacy?
That's another important issue. Privacy means having control over personal information and how it's collected or used.
So if I put private information into an AI tool, I shouldn't automatically assume that information is completely private.
Right. Before using any AI service, it's wise to understand what information you're sharing and how that service handles it.
That sounds especially important at work. You wouldn't want to paste confidential company information into a random tool.
Exactly. If something is private or sensitive, pause and think before sharing it.
There's another question I have. Will AI replace people?
That's probably the biggest question of all. Some jobs and tasks will certainly change because of AI. Some tasks may become faster or easier. But human skills are still extremely valuable.
Such as?
Judgment, creativity, communication, empathy, and the ability to understand a real human situation.
So maybe the better question isn't, will AI replace me, but how can I work effectively with AI?
I like that question much better.
Me too, because if a tool can handle a boring task, I can spend more time on something that needs a human touch.
Exactly. Think about writing. AI can help you create a first draft, suggest ideas, or improve the structure, but you still need to decide whether the message sounds like you.
That's true. Sometimes AI writing sounds a little too perfect.
Or a little too formal.
Exactly. If I text my friend, I sincerely appreciate your prompt response, they'll probably wonder what's wrong with me.
Yes, AI can give you the words, but you decide which words actually fit the situation.
So the goal is not to let AI do everything, it's to use it as a tool.
That's the key idea.
And maybe that's why learning how AI works is becoming an important skill, even for people who aren't technology experts.
Absolutely. You don't need to become a computer scientist. You just need to understand the basics, ask clear questions, check important information, and use your judgment.
That feels much less intimidating.
Good. And now, let's put those ideas into a real situation. Let's try it for real. I'll be someone using an AI assistant, and you can help me improve my prompt. Ready?
Ready?
I need help planning a weekend trip.
Okay, that's a start, but your prompt is too general. Give the AI some context.
All right. Help me plan a weekend trip.
Better, but I'd add your destination, your interests, your budget, and how much time you have.
Okay. Plan a 2-day trip to Da Nang. I enjoy food, beaches, and quiet places. I want a relaxed schedule and affordable activities.
Much better. Now the AI has useful context.
And if it suggests a restaurant that sounds perfect, should I immediately trust it?
Not necessarily. Check that the restaurant actually exists and that the information is current.
Great point. What if I ask the AI to explain something difficult?
That's a great use. You can ask it to explain the topic in simple English, then give you an example.
And I could even ask it to create practice questions for me.
Exactly. Just remember to check the answers if the topic is important.
Nice. And what about privacy?
Don't share private information unless you understand how the service handles it. If you're unsure, leave the personal details out.
I think we've covered the most important ideas. And scene. Did you notice how we used clear prompts, added context, checked information, and thought about privacy?
Yes, and those are probably the 4 things I'd remember. Give clear instructions, provide useful context, verify important information, and protect private information.
Exactly. And there's one more big takeaway. AI is a tool, not a replacement for your judgment.
Right, it can generate an answer, but you still have to decide whether that answer makes sense.
That's the mindset I want listeners to remember. Use AI to help you think and work more efficiently, but keep your human judgment in the driver's seat.
And honestly, that's a much more realistic way to think about AI.
Absolutely. Now let's see what's stuck. A quick check.
What does data mean in the context of AI? What is a prompt? If an AI gives you information that sounds believable but is actually incorrect, what is that called? Why is context useful when you're writing a prompt? Name 2 things you should remember when using AI. Give clear instructions, check important information, and be careful with private information.
Nice work. Let's bring it all together. Today we learned that AI works with data and patterns. It can make predictions and generate content. And it becomes more useful when we give it clear prompts and enough context.
And we also learn not to treat every AI answer as a fact. Check important information, protect your privacy, and use your own judgment.
Exactly. You don't have to know everything about AI to use it well. Start with the basics, ask clear questions, and stay curious.
This is Alex.
And I'm Sophia. Thanks so much for learning with us today.
If you enjoyed this lesson, subscribe or follow Daily English Talks for more practical English conversations. And don't forget to drop your practice score in the comments below.
Keep practicing, keep asking questions, and we'll see you in the next conversation.